Am I looking tired? Because I feel tired. Welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Tired. I wanted to do something a little different today. As you can probably already tell, I'm a very sentimental person. I got toys, I got pictures, I got posters, I got art. Well, I don't know if I'd call him artwork, but he's something. Um, I like collecting things. I've always liked collecting things. I've always had a value for things, and for a really long time, I've kept like diaries and notebooks. Like I used to scrapbook a whole lot. This was a scrapbook that Alicia got me because she thought I was going to go to America, and I thought I was going to go to America. But that is a story for another day. But I mean, swiftly moving on, because that is not really a memory I want to revisit right now. But we will get to it possibly in future videos, and I'm gonna probably break this into parts. I want to dive into the mother of diaries. Like, I'm not kidding. There's a lot of memories in this diary. This was my diary for maybe like 5 or 6 years. I got it towards the end of year 11, which is like, in American terms, is like the end of middle school. And it was originally just my yearbook, but there were so many pages, and actually there are still like so many pages left in this, that I just kept using it for years and years and years, and I just wanted to share this with you, because for those of you who, and blissfully I've been avoiding Twitter, but for those of you who have visited my Twitter in like I want to say the last 2 weeks, you'd know that I've been going down memory lane. I found a bunch of my old photos, which, I mean, they're not here, but I uploaded them to my private Facebook, into private albums, just so I could keep for myself, because that's all I use Facebook for, really. But I had found all these really, really old pictures and just stashes of old things. And I think on Sunday I'm gonna brainstorm some new ideas for new videos I could do, because I have like all these different files for history lessons that I used to like make, because my history A level, I didn't have a teacher. I studied it completely on my own independently. So I made myself, like, in a really, really cute way, I made myself like these little lesson plans. So on Sunday we might brainstorm that and brainstorm some new ideas, and I could do these like unfiltered history lessons or English lessons or whatever you guys want. We'll figure it out. But because I've been going down memory lane, I really want to look into some my old diaries. They would like, of the things that I carried out of my house multiple times as I had to leave places. And for those of you who've been following me, I've had to leave my home many times. I had to leave my father's house, and then leave the homeless shelter, and then leave my uncle's house, and then leave my grandmother's house, and then leave another uncle's house, and then leave my other uncle's house, and now I'm here. So I've had to leave a lot of the time, just because things got difficult, or things got, strained, and I'm pretty good at downsizing my essentials and knowing what I need, like how many clothes I need, how many shoes I need. Actually, I have a list somewhere in this diary of all my essentials, because I wanted to run away from home from a really young age. I don't know how fucking depressing that comes off as, like, me saying that, but it was a thought from when I was really, really young. So I thought that it couldn't hurt to make a list, and it didn't, because it came in really, really handy. It wasn't the most wholesome list. Like, I didn't follow everything on that list, and there were a lot of things on that list that I don't necessarily need. Like, I'm pretty sure that on the one that I wrote in here, I wrote a prayer mat because I was still religious. But it, this is one of the only sentimental things that I have from like my deep past. We're talking like pre-2015. Like, this is one of the only things that I've carried out of my life. There are other sentimental things that I've carried out of like my uncle's house, like these little toys that I have around my house. But if we're talking like deep, like baby Faye, baby emo phase Faye, where she used to write all her deep and dark thoughts, this is the only one. I don't have like a photo album or like baby clothes or like all the other shit that YouTubers could show you, but this I have. So I wanted to go through this, and one of the other reasons why I wanted to go through some of my old stuff is because I'm working on quite a few projects this year, with the Council of Ex-Muslims, with and with a few other people for a few different events, and I just need inspiration. I am working on a poetry project, and I can't really say what the project is, but for those of you female ex-Muslim poets, please hit me up. Contact me, like email me or tweet at me, and anyone who's listening, please find people for me, because I'm working on a poetry project, and I can't really say what it is right now, but I need inspiration just to write some new material. I have about 10 to 15 poems that I have at the moment that I could contribute to this project, and I'm heading it for CEMB, so I want it to go really, really well because I have all these ideas, but I have a quota to meet before I can think of any other ideas. So I'm also looking for inspiration in these really old and honestly some really depressing pages, but I thought I'd take you on this journey. I've also resolved to recording just on Wednesdays because I've realized that I can't record on two separate days, so there'll still be two uploads. There'll still be two videos uploaded every week, Wednesday and Friday, but I'll only record on Wednesday. So if you see me wearing the same clothes all the time, that's why. But this is so for those of you who didn't know, this school doesn't exist anymore. They've actually been completely rebranded. This is the first page of my diary because it also was a yearbook for me. So it's in honor and loving memory of those who suffered in ACE, or Aisha Community Education, which later became Aisha Community School, and we have a little doodle. There's plenty of doodles in this book, but that's my first page of this diary. And in the back, well, the front was mainly a yearbook before it just became like a scrapbook, but the back was like my darkest, like, because I wrote a lot. Like, I wrote a lot during the time that my mom was ill. I don't know if I'm gonna read the stuff in the back, but like, look, this like tiny little, I don't even know if you can read that, like pencil handwriting. I had like a little code system. I mean, these were old times, but I used to have like these, I might recreate these digitally, but I was really obsessed with Assassin's Creed. I don't know what this says. I'm pretty sure that this was a quote from a story I wrote. I've always been self-obsessed, for those of you who ever had any doubt. But I used to do like pen drawings and pencil drawings, and one of the reasons why I didn't draw faces was because one of my teachers, and I really wanted to believe her, one of my Islamic studies teachers told me that it's fine to draw people because drawing people is normally haram in Islam, and she said that it's fine as long as you don't draw the face. So I used to like blur out the face a lot, or like not draw it in, or like just do like a fuck ton of shading. But I'm actually really, really proud of this drawing. I forgot that I had it, so I might recreate that digitally. But yeah, anyways, going back to the memories. These, I'm not sure how much of this I'm allowed to show, but I made a list of like my teachers and my classmates. There was, in the first year of that school, and I've made a video exclusively about Islamic schools and why it's a terrible idea to send your child to one. But in the first year of this school, there was only about 11 or 12 of us to a year group. Not to a class, not to a form, to a year group. It was in this tiny little house. We had, I think, a total of 3, well, classrooms, but they were just like bedrooms. There was one bathroom and one like outdoor area that's about 5 meters by 5 meters. It was crazy. I'm not gonna read like all the messages that my friends left me because that's personal. But I do want to show you some other stuff. Oh, I need to go through these like by myself. They're so cute. Like there's like I had friends who would draw as well, and they would leave me like little doodles, and I would like keep the like people never expected me to keep things. So I have like I want to cover up this message, but I have like I titled it Solid Memories because I used to stick in like all the things that people used to leave me, like little notes in class. And I think this was the lyrics to something we used to do because music was haram, not just in our school but just generally. Like I didn't really listen to music, something that I would do instead because I thought it was the same thing, because I'm an absolute fucking idiot, is that I would look up the lyrics to songs that I remembered liking. So I used to listen to a lot of rock music. My favorite band is Linkin Park. It will always be Linkin Park. I don't care what you have to say. I've read your letters. I've received your fucking ravens. Okay, I love Linkin Park. That's never gonna fucking change, and I don't care what anyone has to say. So someone roasted me the other day. Okay, I'm getting onto a whole other thing, but this. So one of the other people that I used to listen to in like year 7 was Avril Lavigne. There were like 4 bands that I used to listen to. It was Evanescence, Nickelback, and I love Nickelback, so don't even try. Avril Lavigne and Linkin Park, and some Green Day. Like there's like 2 songs from Green Day that I liked, which is American Idiot and Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and no other song. But she had decided, because we both gave up music at the same time, she joined in year 8, she had decided to write me all the lyrics to Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy. Which I already knew all the lyrics to, because I consume songs, like I have a really good memory for like lyrics and things, so I already knew all the lyrics. But she, instead of like writing it in normal English, I don't know how much of that you can see, but she wrote it in like text slang, like internet slang. So instead of like writing at she would put the at sign. It was just so funny, and I kept that. I keep all the things that I got in school, like these notes. Like I have notes that we used to pass around in class and like ask each other questions and then like send them back. We had like this family tree. Peter Andre's on there for some reason. And it was just like, I was the weirdo in the class. I didn't have a long-term best friend. I kind of just like flitted between groups, and there weren't that many groups because there was only fucking 12 of us. But like I was obviously the outlier. Like I was the weirdo. I was the one that nobody wanted to hang out with. Like I had all the crazy fucking ideas, but was also the most religious, so I just didn't fit in anywhere. So whenever somebody gave me like a no, I would immediately be like, I'm gonna keep that like forever, because why wouldn't I? There's like this cute little comic strip at the bottom. Like this is just memories. This is why I do it. Like it's so lovely to like go through these things and like see them again. I'm saying like too many times, but like see them again and just enjoy yourself, but yeah, I just like and again, like I don't know how much of this I can show. I'm just looking at some notes that we used to pass around. But before I get too carried away, I do want to show one memento from my sixth form days. It was from college. These were some of the statements that my teachers left me for like parents' evening and stuff, which my parents never went to parents' evening. They never cared enough. And also they never had any time, and they thought it was a waste of time, and my dad didn't want to talk to women ever. So I used to just bring them home these reports, and they would just be like, good enough. And I would cut out and stick out my teachers' reviews of me, and they've always spelt my name wrong, so that's probably a good sign. I used to love Miss Ruxana. She says, Fatiha works hard and retains what she is taught. She works independently in her own time and is able to apply what she has learned into her essay practice. She brings forward interesting insights into class discussions and is a helpful and considerate member in the classroom. I was a teacher's fucking pet. That's what that means. But anyways, moving on to sixth form college, there is one story that I really want to tell because it's absolutely fucking hysterical. I don't remember if I showed anyone this on YouTube, but there's a story here. So in sixth form, I didn't take maths. This is not my CD. There's a reason why I got to obtain this and keep this forever. And the reason for that is that when in sixth form, I was a bit of a loner. I used to spend a lot of time on the computer. I was busy self-teaching myself history and English and religious studies because arts weren't a big thing in my school. Don't know why. Arts and humanities just weren't a big thing in my school. So I ended up like having a lot of free periods where I would just like sit there and like plan lessons for myself like a sad human being, or fuck around on DeviantArt. I think that was my jam back in the day. And Yahoo Answers. I used to get into arguments on Yahoo Answers a lot. And one day, someone must have watched these like 5-minute life hack videos, and I think it was my friend Ithar. She like stuck this in a microwave and she like turned it on and she said, oh, it's meant to be so cool, like you're meant to see the sparks flying off it. I was sitting at a computer, I didn't know what was going on. I could like hear it in the background, you know, because I was just like doing my work or whatever. And she sticks this in the microwave and it sparks and they're like, ooh, for like 5 seconds. And then somebody like yelps and they all run out of like the common room. And it wasn't a common room, it was like this outdoor like cabin that we called our common room. And they all run outside and I'm just like left in there and I'm like, what is going on? What happened? And I see this motherfucker on fire in the microwave. I like take it out. It doesn't take that, like, I don't take it out. I open the microwave and it kind of just dies down in there. The stink from this, like I've written a note in my diary. It still fucking smells. It after that must have happened in like 2012. It's still like, it still smells like that. It's a nostalgic smell because it was like this fear of, oh, I have such wonderful friends. They just left me in a burning building, essentially. And also the fact that this was my prize for being the only one who stuck around to like put out the fire. It kind of just went out. Because I mean, it's metal and it didn't stay in the microwave because I opened it. Like they just left it in there and left me in there with the microwave. It was fucking nasty. But yeah, the one thing that I will say that is kind of cool about this CD is that you can see like all the little cracks where the code, I'm guessing the code was written. I don't know anything about computers, but I don't know whose CD this was. This was I don't even know if they still use CDs, and a lot of laptops don't have like CD things, like the CD input things. But it got fucked. But it's one of my favorite mementos from school, and I really like, I want to celebrate this somehow, but nobody celebrates my victories. Like, I'm the only one who feels my victories and has fun. Like, I literally said, I'm keeping this, and they were like, okay. Like, it didn't matter, and I was like, what do you mean, okay? Like, this shit, I'm gonna show this shit off to somebody at some point. They were just like, take it. Nobody fucking wants it. We almost died. And I'm just like, okay, fine. Oh, I kept my... I mean, I didn't vote back then because I thought it was haram. And my whole family thought it was haram. And they spelt my name wrong. Look, nobody knows how to fucking spell my name. Not even the fucking government. What is this? Oh my gosh. Anyways, like, this was the card that I got from the government, from the council, when I turned 18, and I was I was able to vote, even though that year I didn't vote because I thought it was haram. But this, like, really makes me miss scrapbooking. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't had time, and I've kind of just like stuck all my mementos onto my walls, which I mean is one way of doing it, but like I have like a bucket full of mementos now that I don't know what to do with, so I think I'm gonna like get a scrapbook and scrapbook those. But like this was something I can't remember exactly where this was from, but I remember reading it and thinking it was so beautiful. It was like some kind of prayer. I don't know if it's the Lord's Prayer. I don't think it is, but it was a prayer in this fictional book that I was reading. It's called a Shrive Prayer. It's written right there. It's called a Shrive Prayer, and I used to read a lot of historical fiction. I was really into historical fiction because I studied history. Like, and I studied a lot of like ancient British history, and I studied religion, and I studied literature. So I was really, really into historical fiction, and really into like fantasy. I remember that I think it was in 2012 or 2013. I think it was in 2012. I read like all of the Lord of the Rings books. I got really into Tolkien because I was studying Anglo-Saxon history, and he was the professor of Anglo-Saxon at Oxford, and I thought that's the perfect excuse to read the Lord of the Rings, because I wasn't allowed to read it. I wasn't allowed, like, it was considered haram, so I wasn't allowed to read it, and it just posed the perfect excuse. Like, I remember having this, like, meltdown, like, because my dad was like, there's magic in that, and I was like, Dad, I'm teaching myself history. Like, I really made a strong case to read the Lord of the Rings. It's so stupid, but I made a really strong case, and to be honest, like, it wasn't completely useless, because I got an A on my history A level. I mean, if I was an editor, I could add some applause there, but I got an A after teaching myself about Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, William the Conqueror, and like 1066 and the conquest of England by Normandy, like all the reasons for that. Henry VIII, and I think some of like the politics around his son and how useless he was. They were both useless. Like I can excuse, I think his son's name was Edward. I can excuse Edward because he was like a teenager when he died, but Henry VIII was a fucking useless monarch. I regretted so much studying that part of history. So much. Because he sucked. He really sucked. He really fucking sucked. Like, I couldn't... Because Henry VIII is like one of those, at least in Britain, he's like one of those kings that you always study about in secondary school, because he's like known for having 6 wives and like creating the Church of England or whatever. But like, other than those things, he's really fucking useless. Like, he didn't do anything else. This is why I need an unfiltered history class. If you want that, leave some comments below, but we will be brainstorming ideas on Sunday. Anyways, we have a doodle. I think this was the section of my diary that's a yearbook for sixth form, college. Americans would say high school, I think. But we got a doodle. It's like a half a face, because again, faces are haram. So I drew half a face with like a headscarf. I was also, at this time, I used to watch a lot of playthroughs on YouTube at school, because I had all these free periods and I wasn't going to spend all of that time studying, because it's free internet, not around my family. So I was super into video games, and I remember drawing that. And I was also into Tobuscus back then. I know he's had a couple of controversies in recent years, but if you can read that really, really tiny pencil like handwriting, it's the lyrics to one of his the trailers that he used to sing. I was such a dork, honestly. And it says, "It has been a tremendously difficult and sometimes irritating honor to have studied at and worked at the agency," because the initials for my school was ACE rather than the agency, which is a hitman thing. I'm dumb. I'm fucking stupid. I don't know what to end on. I want to do more parts, because there's like, we've only been through this much of this diary. Like, this is not a lot. This, for anyone who's wondering, is it was the back of my diary. It's plastic, so I couldn't stick it. Oh shit, it just came loose. I couldn't actually, well, now it's not stuck at all, but I couldn't stick it in because it was plastic. But it was all the subjects that I had to take for GCSE. and all the dates for my exams. And that was in 2011. That was at the beginning of the decade. What a walk through memory. Oh, there's some juicy stuff coming up as well. There's like photographs, like really old photographs of me as a child. We got the, okay, I'm gonna try not to show the photograph because I'm gonna save that for the next video. But that was the other side of my diary. I was an edgy goth girl. I can't remember what those initials were N and B. I'm trying to read it. N and B. I think because my alias online was Naomi Black, because I really liked the name Naomi, and my favorite Harry Potter character, which was Super Haram, but I still read all the books. Yeah, my favorite character was Sirius Black, so I just wanted to take Naomi and Black, and that was my alias. I don't know if those accounts are still around. They probably still are if you wanted to look them up. But I think I'm gonna end there. So that was like mainly my school memories. If you enjoyed this, please let me know, because I would really love to continue doing this. And I mean, regardless of whether or not you see it, I am gonna go through these. But if people want to see this and see how absolutely like just out of my mind I was as a younger person, please let me know, because I would love to do that. I mean, it does get progressively sadder because your girl went through quite a few struggles in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017 even, which I have a whole, sorry, that was really loud, which I have a whole diary on. So if you want to see more, let me know. I'm gonna upload this in 2 parts, and then we'll throw in a 3rd part. Like, well, we can probably create many parts from this. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please do share, please comment. You know, I love reading the comments. I'm kind of like on a social media cleanse. I have been since like December of last year. I'll still see your comments. I'll definitely see them, and if I feel like they need to be addressed, I will address them. You can still reach me through Twitter, even though I'm not really tweeting very actively right now. I'm kind of just enjoying investing all my time into my 9-to-5 work and just my creativity. I've been writing a little, I've been drawing a lot. But they're all commissioned work, so I can't really share too much of it. So I've been really enjoying that. But if you would like to contact me, please do leave a comment, email me. It's fayramen95@gmail.com. That is my business email. You know, contact me on Twitter. It's in the description below. I'm not going to bother saying it because nobody's going to spell it right, but it's in the description below. If you would like to support me in a more monetary way, please do consider doing so. You are under no obligation if you don't want to, but please do consider doing so. I have a Patreon, I have a PayPal, we have merch with artwork, beautiful artwork, I might say, on it. And all of those things are linked in the description below. If you hated this fucking video and you want to roast the fuck out of me, go ahead. I enjoy all of your comments. This is what I consider to be a free speech platform, so please do share how you feel it, say what you mean and mean what you say. I am gonna shoot off. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. The next video will be the other half of this. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.